All right, so we'll start off by lighting the candle. Oh yes, we can do this. Just representing the light in us all. That light, that divine life force that lives within. So I just invite you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes. And just taking a deep breath and letting it out. Releasing anything from this moment, prior, anything that you're thinking about after. And just breathing in this next breath, just knowing with every fiber of our beings that this breath is that divine life force within us. That this life force is all that there is. It is in the rain, in the sun, in the clouds, in the trees, in the universe, in you and me. It has that supreme good. And I know that I am a divine emanation of this one, as is every single person in this room. Every being in this room is a divine expression of this one light, this one love, this divine life force, creating and expressing in a myriad of ways, all different, like snowflakes, for none of us are the same, yet we all contain that one life that is tied to that divine love. And so just speaking my word right now, just knowing that today's service is blessed, that as we fall into our hearts, we are one heart. We have ears on our hearts. Knowing that David is blessed as he is the instrument of the divine, as are all of us. As we commune in community with love and compassion and joy and peace, supporting one another. And so in so much gratitude and so much thankfulness for this community, for this time, for this prayer, I am so, so grateful. And with a heart just filled with so much joy, I release this prayer into that action of the law, that alchemy that transmutes it, and already has, even before my word was spoken. And so together I invite us to say, and so it is. And then we'll 2 minutes of silence, and then Amy and Heather will bring us back.
So take a breath. This is our last in our series of talks of Living Everyday Wonder about money. We're looking at the whole year of Living Everyday Wonder about different aspects of life. And so this month it's been finances or money that we're taking a look at. And so this is the fourth and final talk in our series about money. And I want to talk about money, the purpose of money. The purpose of money is to support our expression of our aliveness, of Spirit's aliveness in, through, and as us. That's the only purpose there is for money. It's neither good nor bad. It just supports our aliveness. That's why we started off this morning with, I am alive. Because if we're not fully being alive, we're not fully expressing our divine nature, and then all the stuff we need, whether it's money or any other forms of wealth, doesn't show up fully if we're not showing up fully. We kind of set the temperature, And so we're working on that today. So we've learned to experience the love of money for us. We spent a couple of weeks kind of contemplating a piece of money and feeling the love of the universe moving through that towards us, instead of deciding whether it's an object we love or don't love. We decided to open up to the love that's expressing through us, the divine love that shines through money as it does through everything. Divine love shines through this guitar, especially when it's played well. Divine love shows up through the chair that's supporting you. Divine love shows up everywhere. We've explored being playful with money. Yes? Yes. We, letting go of the fear and the seriousness that we've been domesticated, conditioned to believe is what should surround money. We get to be playful around it because it's just a form of life. It's just a form of divine nature. Be playful. We've explored money myths, which have supported us in living lives that are less than the full natural abundance of who we are, of who God as us is. That is the nature of the universe, to live out loud. You and I came here to live out loud. By the way, that's next year's whole theme, so we're going to have a whole year to play with that theme. Most importantly, we've learned that the source of wealth in all forms is infinite. That's pretty big. It's infinite. But we must claim and embody it. We must claim it, and we must embody it. Otherwise, we end up, those of you who remember the story of the prodigal son, remember at the tail end of the story, the son comes home, gets a party and all that stuff, and the number one son comes back and goes, wait, why is he getting a party? I never got a party. Why didn't you give me a party? A little whine with his cheese. And the father looks at him and says, all I have is yours. You've always been with me, but you never asked for it. You never asked for anything. So we can sit here in a universe of absolute abundance without ever claiming it, without ever doing what we call commanding the law and saying, yes, I claim this, I call this forth into my life. And it just sits there. And it's sort of like being at a banquet with all sorts of food and starving because we won't reach out and take any. To know that we live in an abundant universe, an infinite universe, and to recognize that we have to claim it is how we have to live life. I'm doing a a spiritual mind treatment workshop, which is our method of affirmative prayer, in 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from now after service. And it's a wonderful process for claiming your good, for making a claim into the universe for your good. And I encourage you, especially if you're not too familiar with it, or if you want to get better at it, to come to that workshop. It's free, it's 2 hours, 2 Sundays from now. That's my shameless plug. When we learn to command the law, we create a different experience in life. We embody the good that surrounds us. We use it for ourselves. We individualize it and express it. And that's what you and I are here to do. We're here to individualize and express, capital L, life. Yes? That's why you were here. In case you didn't know why you're here, that's why. If there's one takeaway from this month, it's that money is a form of flow. Money is a form of flow. Not the person Progressive life insurance. But if you look up finance, the definition of finance, it says the financial system consists of the flows of capital that take place between individuals, personal finance, governments, public finance, and businesses, corporate finance. Finance, thus, studies the process of channeling money flow from savers and investors to entities that need it. That's a definition. So we first realize that the source, the headwaters of our flow, is infinite beyond comprehension. We are sourced from an infinite source. But it's not some remote infinite that's out there in the entire universe. Yes, it's that. But it's also intimately and personally present with each of us. Intimately. Closer than your neck vein, I believe, is how the Quran says it. Closer than your breath. Jesus said the kingdom is at hand. It's in your bones. It's intimately, personally present. And all of the infinite good is ours, yet we can only experience as much as we can channel through our minds, our consciousness, as we can draw through that channel. Many of you remember the movie What the Bleep? Do we know? And there's a part in there where the ships of, I believe, Columbus or the Spanish explorers are supposedly coming to an island, and the people can't see it because they have nothing to register those ships up within their minds. And the shaman finally is able to move through that and see it. Oftentimes, our good is like that. It's sitting right here, and we can't see it. Don't put your hands up, but how many of you have ever lost your keys? And you're running around the house going, where are my keys? My keys are lost. I'm so stupid for having lost the keys. I need to get better organized, blah, blah, blah. And we're affirming what? That the keys are lost. And so they can be sitting in plain sight, and in fact, they are sitting in plain sight somewhere, but because our mindset is, it's lost, I affirm that and I experience that until we shift. Or until somebody else who's not into that story comes along and helps us find them. This is why we looked last week at what's clogging the flow through the channel. When we looked at the myths, what's clogging the flow through the channel? Because we want this channel to be wide open for this abundance. And whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's health, whether it's anything, we want to be open. Yes? Okay. It's a tough room, I can tell. As we open to this infinite source, we have to learn to receive, utilize, and release. Take it in, use it, let it go, in a way that's healthy, balanced, and with trust. So today's talk, which is share it, ferret, do take a slice of my pie, is a rephrase of a Pink Floyd song lyric, which in its original says, share it, ferret, don't take a slice of my pie. And it's from the song Money, and it's a mindset, it's kind of expressing the mindset of, yeah, do all that goody-goody stuff over here, but don't take my stuff. Don't do it in my backyard. Me, I got to have my stuff. And as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, the finite pie idea of money is prevalent in this world. Have you noticed? Yeah. But we remember, when we get conscious, that it's not a finite pie, but an infinite source, unseen in its nature, but showing up in form as we open to its flow. It's sort of like the wind. We have a little wind going on today, yes? How many of you can see the wind? Nope. We can see the effects of the wind, but we can't actually see wind. And so we see the effects of this flow. We see the effects of this infinite presence, even if we can't actually see the infinite presence. That doesn't mean it's not there, just like the wind is there. Our first step is to become better at receiving. We must become good at receiving good. Yes? Notice how when you receive gifts or compliments or unexpected good shows up in your life in some way, how do you handle it? Do you deflect it? Oh, I don't really deserve this. Do you minimize it? That's not really all that much. Anybody could have done that job. Do you judge it? Do you judge the value? Do you refuse it? Oh no, this whole thing, no, this isn't very good. Or do you keep score of the gifts that you give to make sure that you match the ones that you're giving out? Or do you keep score of the ones that you're getting? There's a little hair floating through right in front of me here. Hi, it's a gift. Thank you. Must be an angel hair. Do you accept it? Do you let it in? Can you just genuinely open, receive, and say thank you? We teach a thing called mental equivalent, and a mental equivalent is just what's our normal. What's our normal? It's kind of like, think of it as a thermostat, which is different than a thermometer, right? A thermometer just tells you what's going on. A thermostat you can set and control. You know, if I'm too hot in this room, I can go change the thermostat and cool it down or raise the temperature. And so that's how our thoughts are. You can change the setting. You can change your idea of normal to something greater. How much can you accept? How much good are you willing to let in? Thank you. One person. You know, we significantly increased our goal for our pledges this year, knowing that we will need more capital to operate this building. And so we increased our idea of good. You know, we're going for, oops, not there. It's in a secret place, okay. But we're going for $175,000 as our goal for our pledges this year. Our previous goals have been in the more than the 140 to 145 range. But we decided, those of us who kind of sat around and contemplated this and visioned for this, let's get bigger. Let's get past our normal. Now, I can assure you that that was uncomfortable to say, I want more. As you expand your mental equivalent in any area of life, all of your old ideas of, I don't deserve it, trusting the universe, the world out there to show up, all of that stuff, all of that junk that's clogging your channel will show up, which is a good thing because it will show up for the purpose of healing and release. So that you can notice, oh, look at that stinky thing blocking my flow. Let me get that out of here. Get a Schroeder. All the temperature settings of your previous comfort level will get rattled. Take the step anyway. We had a lovely meditation this morning from Sylvia that used today's, the book from Mark Nepo, the Book of Awakening, which talked about the salmon swimming upstream allows the full force of the water to hit its belly and tail, and that's what propels it forward. And so can we let life propel us forward rather than overwhelming us and knocking us backwards? Your temperature settings will get rattled. Take the step anyway. The universe loves you. The universe wants your best for you, because your best is what? It's its best. Can you conceive of a universe that's sitting there going, yeah, I don't want my own good. I want to live in starvation, lack of love, sickness. Do you think the universe does that? No. One of my teachers always used to say, if it ain't true of God, it ain't true of you. Breathe that in. Embody that. So we're going to open up to receive. The second step then, after expanding our acceptance, is our utilization. Yes, we get to keep some. Many people experience money diarrhea. You know, it flows in, it flows right on out. Phil Lout in the book Money is My Friend says, if you have the ability to save regularly, it is an indication that you are at least as intelligent as the squirrel who stores away nuts for the winter. This month I had more income than I had outflow. And I was listening to my mind going, ooh, you could buy this, you could buy this. And I took that extra money and I put it into my savings account. Because I don't need to spend it on that. When we breathe, we keep some of the air. When we eat, we keep some of the food. With money, things like savings and investments are the labels for this form of self-care, of utilization, of keeping it. And we live in a culture that's screaming, buy more, spend, spend. You'll be happier if you buy this latest gadget, take this latest trip, whatever. But that's not what we're here to do. If we don't value ourselves and if we don't value money, we will get rid of it as quickly as it comes in. If we judge it as not spiritual, we'll get rid of it as quickly as it comes in, especially if we think of ourselves as a spiritual. I'm a spiritual person, so I don't want to have this unspiritual thing around me. That's a subconscious thing that happens. If it comes to a channel that we don't like, if it comes to a channel that we don't value, I hate my job. Our resistance to the channel will show up as money rushing out our door, going away. Instead, in the model of flow, think of a full rushing stream pouring into a lake, a nice large lake. The lake provides life energy for its surroundings, for the trees and the plants on the shore, for the fish underneath the water, for the birds above and the animals above. It spreads out moisture to benefit the whole region, and then it evaporates to create even more water before releasing some of that water downstream. That is a healthy utilization, a healthy model of utilization. Having money in savings and investments allows the money to work for us instead of us working for the money. Take a breath. The third phase is releasing, letting go. And whether we're talking about money or food or air, releasing is important, yes? You've discovered this in your lives. In case you don't know, you do it all the time anyways. Releasing is important. Just as not valuing ourselves blocks the flow in and devalues the retention and utilization, not valuing ourselves provides clinging and hoarding and not letting go. I'm going to cling to this and hang on to it. You ever see a tree at the end of autumn where it's one little leaf is still clinging on, or it's clinging to the leaf, depending on your perspective. And that clinging is a result of fear and a result of believing that there's not enough and no more will come in if I let go. And the trees are a beautiful example right now. They're letting go of all their leaves. Are they sitting there going, I'll never have a leaf again? Yeah? No. Spring comes, new leaves form. I've got this plant that grows, and as it grows and grows, the lower leaves start to drop off. And when I first got that plant, I thought, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Why is it doing all this? Until somebody who understood that kind of plant said, no, that's just the way it works. And since I've had that plant for 35 years, I think it probably is the way it works. When we remember that we are releasing from an infinite source into an infinite source, nothing can be lost or lacking. What we call my money isn't really. Only as we cut ourselves off from experiencing the infinite flow do we experience the misperception of lack and loss. I'll say that again. Only as we cut ourselves off from experiencing the infinite flow that is already here do we experience the misperception of lack and loss. It's an actuality that we live in a world that is living in this misperception. Have you noticed? Yeah? And we may even experience the results of their thinking and fear. But if we remember that the capital R reality, that infinite source is greater than mass fear, we will have an experience that is in alignment with this truth, with this capital T truth, of infinite good abundantly sourced. In other words, there ain't nothing out there that can truly take our good away from us. We may experience flow and we may experience things seeming to go away, But as long as we trust and know and recognize and remember that we are in an infinite flow, an infinite source, it will show up again in some other form. There are two primary forms of release. The first one is spending. How many of us are familiar with spending? Okay. And that's using money as an energy exchange for goods and services we choose. I'll say that again. It's using money as an energy exchange for goods and services we choose. And giving is the other form of release. Giving, donating, tithing, any of that stuff uses money as an energy exchange to create greater good in the world in areas that we choose. Usually without expectation of anything in return or personal gain. It's important that when we spend in gratitude for the goods and the services received. That means when you pay your bills, for heat, water, light, clean air, all that good stuff, pay it with gratitude, with the consciousness of gratitude. So many people spend with complaining. Have you ever noticed? Not you guys, I know. But you've probably met somebody. So many people spend with complaining. Oh, this is too expensive. Oh, they're just being greedy. Why are all the prices going up? Blah, blah, blah. Look at the cost of gas right now. Okay? If someone's being greedy, what's that to you? You're sourced from an infinite source. Breathe that in. And you want more good in your life. If you're complaining about the outflow, you're restricting the inflow because the circulation isn't happening. And you're declaring your belief in a limited flow. Instead, acknowledge and be grateful that you are blessed. Acknowledge and be grateful. Dennis Merritt Jones, in his book, The Art of Abundance, which is the workshop we're doing next Sunday, says there is a difference between counting your blessings and knowing you are blessed. This is the power of perspective. Knowing you are blessed originates in your heart with a simple awareness that you are blessed with the gift of life. Counting your blessings happens exponentially as you awaken to your oneness with the principle of abundance and see it manifesting in your life. Counting your blessings, a good thing. Knowing you are blessed, a deep good thing. And then finally, I want to talk about giving, tithing. Tithing especially can be, take a breath, everybody breathe, we're going to talk about tithing for a moment. It's not going to last forever, we're just going to speak about it for a moment, okay? It can be an especially loaded idea. Lots of us have had many experiences of tithing, some of them enjoyable, some of them not so much. And for clarity, here at Center for Spiritual Living, we don't require tithing. Did everybody hear that? We don't require tithing. It's a great practice. It's not a law, but it's a great practice to support your experience of the infinite flow. I remember one of my teachers, Mary Morrissey, says that, why 10%? I don't know, but it's enough to push my button about not enough. And that's a good thing to move through because it kind of triggers us to step past that. Tithing is defined as contributing 10% of your income to a recognized spiritual community. And it's just a practice of the principle of giving, receiving. It's just a practice. There's no God or universe or even a minister that's going to, well, at least not here, that's going to be displeased or pleased if you tithe or don't tithe. There's no, punishment. There's no punishing universe out there. Sorry. But you will just simply not experiencing the benefits of conscious giving. Tithing pushes many people's buttons about lack and enoughness, and it's a great opportunity to see those buttons and grow past them. Say, that's what it looks like, that's what it feels like, but it's not the truth. And I'm going to go past that little block right there. And just like you get benefits from practices like meditation or prayer or yoga, and if you don't do them, you just, there's no punishing God that sends a lightning bolt down and says, you didn't meditate today. Right? I think, okay. You just simply miss out on the benefits of meditating or doing yoga or doing prayer. And it's the same with tithing. It's just It's just a healthy practice. If you're new at it, just like yoga, there's yoga for beginners, there's meditation for beginners. Start gently, start slowly, start doing this giving process. If you've been doing it for a while, expand. Go past 10%. Eric Butterworth says, Joel Goldsmith says that tithing is just training wheels. So we've been growing this month in our awareness of flow and practices of abundance. Guess what? Our kids have too. Our kids have also been growing in that. And we've got 2 or 3? 3, okay. They want to share. So come on up, whoever's coming. We'll start with Ocean.
All right. Is this thing on?
Yes,
All right.
but you have to hold it up.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll speak close to the mic. Don't worry. All right. So something that I'm grateful for in my own life is just that we're in a position, me and my family and a lot of people that we know, that we don't have to worry about money every day. We don't have to worry about food every day. We have a nice house to live, bed to sleep in, all that good stuff. That's something that I'm grateful for. Just, occasionally I think about it and that I'm grateful for most of my days. Something that I've done that I really like to do often, to share, to share with other people, is to share my knowledge, help people out with things. In high school, when I was like a sophomore, I believe, I completed all my math requirements for high school, and there was one session where I was a TA in one of the classes, so I would help out other people with their homework along with the teacher, whatever they had to do. And I was like, I was sharing my knowledge, I was sharing people, and what I get out of that and other things that I do to share people is, I guess, the knowledge that like I know enough that I can help other people. Like there's something that I'm good at. Like it's like affirming that there's something I'm good at. There's something I have enough knowledge in that I can help other people, and that's nice knowing.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you're going to have to invite them up because they're not. Leah? And Navaya, are you coming up also? Okay, why don't you come on up anyway? Hi, this is Leah, right?
What?
Leah?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I forgot them. I am grateful for my friends and my family. I like to share my creativity with others, so my art, and I do dance, so I like to share that with others too. And I forgot the last one. What's the last one?
What's the last one?
Oh, yeah. I see what I give come back to me in thanks and in gifts. Yeah.
I am grateful for my family, and I like to share my art and creativity with others. And something that I receive back when I give is love and communication.
Thank you, Navaya. And so as we complete our month with money, infinitely forced, open to receive, use some of it, keep some of it, and then release some of it. That's our practice, not just for this week, but for life. So this week, what I want to invite you to do and by the way, I want to thank Adrian for having the kids and guiding them through all this process at all the ages. So Adrian's the queen standing back there. So this week, become conscious of your flow. Become conscious of your flow, your income from all streams, your retention or savings, and your release in the categories of spending and giving. Notice if any or all of them need to expand for your life. Remember that the universe responds to how big your thinking is, so expand your thinking. Expand your consciousness. Tell your subconscious mind, remind it, that you are in an abundant, opulent flow of good. Tell it that you get to receive plenty, retain as much as you want, and joyously release through spending and giving. If your flow has been constricted, this will feel like a lie. But the constriction is the real lie. You're speaking the truth to yourself. Stand in absolute faith about that truth until it manifests, and don't be afraid to ask for support. That's why we have practitioners and a minister. So that's your assignment this week. We good with that? Yes. Great. Do I see thumbs online? Yes, I see thumbs online. Good. So I want to close with a quote from Marianne Williamson, one that you're familiar with. And it's just a short condensed. You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. Live out loud. So we have an affirmation. We have an affirmation. There we go. I trust and live, say this with me, in the flow of infinite good. Let's try it again. I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. And so it is. And so look around at the faces of God, faces of the divine. Recognize yours as one of those. Taking a deep breath, we go within to that place where we know we are spirit. That place where we know spirit as us. Where we know that infinite love, that infinite wholeness, that infinite good expressing. And we recognize that we are that. We are immersed in a prosperity that's not just money, but is also love and health and joy, peace, power, all of it. We are in that. Breathe it in, claim some of it, breathe it on back out. And so it is.